Hello and welcome to Pharma E-Class. I am Ananda Goswami from Smriti College of Pharmaceutical Education, and we were discussing about the different types of dryers. Our today's topic is a very important dryer, that is fluidized bed dryer. Fluidized bed dryer is a routinely used machine in tableting industries in particular, and such industries where solid drug is being manufactured. This is the one single dryer which performs multiple functions of drying, mixing as well as granulating. Even we can perform a bit of size reduction in this particular machine. So let us come to the principle, the construction, working and applications with the advantages and disadvantages of the fluidized bed dryer. So the term fluidized itself shows its principle. The principle behind the fluidized bed dryer is that we are exposing the stream, we are exposing the powder, the wet mass, the wet solids from which we have to eliminate the moisture into a gust of dry or hot air, and the velocity of that air is such that the solid wet mass particles are exposed to a state. That state is called fluidized state. The hot air intensity, the hot air velocity is so much that the particles are thrown into the fluidized state. The particles are thrown into the air state, and hence each and every particle is dried in the gust of that hot air. So to do that particular thing, let us see what is the construction. This is the basic construction of a fluidized bed dryer, where we have the detachable bowl. This detachable bowl is the trough in which the sample is kept. These are the solids. The wet mass is being kept inside this particular trough and bowl, and that bowl is detachable. And after filling of the solids, we have to put it inside the dryer. So this has this detachable bowl. The bowl has some perforated bottoms through which we can send the gust of dry air. So this particular construction is a compact one, where we have air inlet. So fresh and filtered air comes through this air inlet. We have the air heaters. We can heat up the air. If we are not sending hot air, then we can heat up the air through the air heaters. Then we can send the hot air. We can filter it through the skin or mesh, and then we can send that hot air through this perforated bottom, and time to time we go on increasing the velocity of the air. And we have to increase the velocity of the hot air to a certain extent that the particles which is in this trough or this bowl is thrown into the gust of the fluid. You have to make it into the fluidized state, so that each and every particles gets exposed to the particular heat, so that it will be eventually get dried. But when this thing happens, these are the fluidized solids. Yes, the particles are thrown into the fluid air. So there can be certain particles which are very small. So there is a tendency that these particles may move out or may run out from the machine. But this doesn't happen because we have some bag filters present. These are all bag filters which is capable of holding some very fine particles if it may come. Those fine particles does not escape from the machine, but it gets accumulated in these bag filters, and time to time when we beat up this bag filters, so all the particles will re-suspended or re-collected in the trough or the bowl. There is another fan. That fan actually circulates the air, and if there are any humid air left, then through the air outlet we can also make exit that particular air. So these are the different types of, let us see different parts of the machine. Yeah, two types of fluidized bed dryer can be there. The vertical fluidized bed dryer for batch process, the horizontal fluidized bed dryer for continuous process. The dryer consists of an air handler. What is an air handler? This is a source of dry and hot air. It is also attached by means of heating and dehumidifying air if necessary. Then there is the plenum. It consists of a screen or plate to distribute the incoming air as it enters the dryer. It contains the product container or the trough. The container holds the product that is to be dried. Next, there is expansion chamber. This chamber is situated above the product container and holds the suspended material. Next there is filter. The upper part of the expansion chamber contains some back filters. These are the back filters which I have explained, and they prevent the collection of any fine particles from escaping the filter. So come to the applications of the FBD, that is a common term is used in pharmaceutical industries, FBD. Basic application of FBD is in tablet industries, particularly in terms of wet granulation, in the process of wet granulation. So fluidized bed dryers are used to dry the previously wet granules. Wet granulation done, then to dry those granules, these FBDs routinely be used. The powders are agglomerated in the drying chamber by spraying liquid binder over it, while the hot air dries the agglomerates into dry granules. Even we can form or we can do coating of tablets in this particular machine. The fluidized bed dryer can be used for coating granules also. This technique is called as Worcester technique, and the basic designs are employed like top spray, bottom spray, as well as tangential spray, that is a spray of the coating solution. In this particular FBD, it can be modified, the design can be modified or improved in such a way that the coating of the granules or the coating of the tablets can also happen by the means of top spray, bottom spray or tangential spray. In fluidized condition, the powder is coated by coating solution sprayed from the nozzles, and as the particles are coated, they become heavier. When the mass develops becomes higher than the drag force given by the fixed air velocity, the particles no longer float, so they will fall back, which is then collected as the product. Yes, come to the advantages and the disadvantages. This is a very advantageous machine, and efficient heat and mass transfer facilitates high drying rates. Heating time of thermolabile materials is minimized, and the individual particles of the bed get dried in the fluidized thread. So most of the drying will be at constant rate, and the falling rate period is quite short. Yes, because it is exposed to the fluidized thread, so each and every particles get in contact with the hot air, and each and every particles are properly dried. And the temperature can also be controlled uniformly. We can see what is the particular velocity, what is the particular temperature of the air, that is also we can control. A free flowing product is obtained when there will be no moisture in the granules or in the powder sample, wet sample, so we will get quite a free flowing powder. Next, since the bed is not static, the movement of the individual particles eliminates the risk of soluble materials migrating. There are no risk of soluble materials migrating, so each and every individual particle movement eliminates that risk. And a huge load of materials can be dried up to a very short period of time. 5 to 200 kgs of material can be dried in a period of 20 to 40 minutes. So these are the advantages, and one of the most important advantages is that in terms of cost cutting, we can say by using the single machine we can do multiple functions of maybe granulating, drying, mixing also. So it is a very quite an advantageous machine in that way. Come to the disadvantages. Yes, the turbulence of fluidized state may produce fine particles due to attrition. As I have already told you, another advantage or another application of this fluidized bed dryer process is that the particles, when they are exposed into that air, that particular gulf of fluidized state, so they'll come closer and they'll have a collision with each other, and that process is called as attrition. So this is a size reduction process. So when we don't want that process to happen, but still we cannot do that particular thing is not happening. So very fine fluidized particles can happen due to the attrition process. Fine particles lead to segregation, so they must be collected by back filters. Yes, if there are fine particles, this segregation, due to attrition, due to particle-particle collision, the particle size is further reduced due to attrition process, and those fine particles should not be escaping from the machine. So we have to operate those back filters very properly, and those back filters would be capable of holding those fine particles and collecting those fine particles, and time to time by beating up the back filters we can collect the particles in the bowl or the trough. The static charges may be produced due to vigorous movement of the particles in the dry air. That is also another disadvantage which can happen. So this is a industrial FBT. So this industrial FBT you will find particularly in tabletic industries where tablets are being produced to dry the granules, particularly in the wet granulation process. So this is our next machine, that is vacuum dryer, another routinely used machine in different pharmaceutical industries, and conduction is used as the principle of method of heat transfer in dryers that is operated under vacuum. So this is a dryer which involves the principle of heat transfer. The principle is conduction. Simple machine, let us take the construction. It is a jacketed vessel through which the steam or hot water is passed. So these are the troughs. These are the troughs in which the sample is being kept, and it is enclosed inside this water or steam jacket. So we can, as the heat source, will employ water or steam jacket. If there is no steam jacket, then the temperature would fluctuate. So there it's a jacket where we have to put the moist, that is the source of heat, that is water, steam. So steam jacket, inside the steam jacket, then we have these troughs or these bowls in which the sample is being kept. The vessels can be closed airtight. Yes, it is a jacketed vessel through which the steam or water is passed, and the vessels can be closed airtight. The oven is connected to a condenser, through a condenser and receiver to a vacuum pump. This particular design is entirely connected to a condenser, and that condenser is subsequently to that condensate receiver, and this is connected to a vacuum pump for the application of vacuum, and the basic process is being conducted likewise only. The materials to be dried are kept in a tray and placed on the shelves. Hot water or steam is passed through the jacket, and the vacuum pump is connected. That vacuum pump is connected to the chamber, and whenever this dry process is applied to ensure complete drying, because heat transfer is being done by the steam, and the vaporization will happen, and that vaporization vapors will be pulled up by the application of the vacuum, and those vapors will come and it will be condensed, and we can also collect the condensate also. So after a certain point of time, after a certain exposure to the vacuum, we will get the desired dry solid. Come to the advantages. The drying can take place at a low temperature because of the application of the vacuum. So we can dry thermolabile materials in a vacuum dryer. It also reduces the risk of oxidation during drying due to the less exposure or to the to hot air, because we are doing it through steam jacketed vessel. So risk of oxidation during drying is also reduced. It produces porous and friable granules because of the application of the vacuum. Complete dehumidification occurs complete from the wet mass, so porous and friable granules are obtained, and also we can the vapor which is condensed, the wet mass, the solution, it can be recovered. So that is also another plus point or advantage. Come to the disadvantage. Heat coefficients are low. Most of the heating takes place by the conduction, and some is from radiation also from the walls of the jacketed. So there can be a certain certain point can come where the drying rate may be a bit slower. And obviously, because it is the carrying cost is also higher, so labor and running costs are high, because quite a few operations are being constantly going on, like application of vacuum, that is also costly, then the provision the entry of the steam. So that particular, it makes these things makes it the machine a bit running cost is high. What are the applications? we can even dry some important thermolabile materials like penicillin in this type of dryers. This type of dryers is also being utilized to obtain certain porous dry extracts. So that is a very important application. And to recover the solvent, particularly in some ethanolic extracts where we need to recover the solvent by the application of vacuum, we can also recover that particular solvent. This is an example or a particular diagram of a typical industrial vacuum dryer which we can find routinely in different pharmaceutical industries.